the New Horizon is like the satellite that is going out there that is now sending us pictures of how Pluto actually looks now is a very exciting thing, because on a astrological way of looking at things, Pluto represents a deepening of knowledge, a clearing of that which is hidden. So where before it was this fuzzy kind of a planet, now it's like in sharp view. Now we're going to go and see all the mountains and study the five planets, and even, oh my God, it's got a ring around it like the other planets. And who would have guessed, right? They just thought that this was just some floating hunk of ice. And so with that realization, that is like when we go and we take a look at, oh, my feelings, that's just a floating hunk of ice. I don't need to pay attention to it. No, we have to pay attention to it, because the more that we take a look at how we feel, water sign, Scorpio, the more that we take a look at how we feel, the more we translate what those feelings are really about. Where did they come from? If you track a feeling, it could easily take you back to childhood experiences, is what is called a trigger. It could easily take you back to a very traumatic experience that we wanted to suppress, that to hold it down. And in the process of holding that down and not looking at it, you are then closing yourself into a coffin of not seeing, which means you cannot then listen to the higher aspects of yourself. And in that sense, it can kill you. And that's when people go and they drink and they take drugs and things like that, because they don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel this. And so I will liberate myself in this very false kind of a way. Now, the Scorpio aspect of Pluto, okay, Scorpio is like the personality that will act out the Pluto depth of energy. Well, it is now located in the chunk of sky called Capricorn. And whenever Pluto falls into a certain sign, it tends to cause havoc in that area. It causes a way of opening things up like we never opened it before. When Pluto was in Scorpio, that was when people were looking at because it's about sexuality. What is more passionate than sexuality? What will create more of a sense of life and death than sexuality? Well, that's when, during the time of Pluto, in the chunk of sky called Scorpio, it was questioning things about sexual abuse, ritualistic abuse, taking a look at how just tearing apart deeper and deeper into the occult and things like that. And it was also revealed that a lot of psychological work, which is what Pluto is about, a time of psychology, that you can also influence a child by having them think that something had happened to them, that you can manipulate people. And that also is a way to get into the unconscious of people and start to shift things. That's what hypnosis is about. And the people who can get hypnosis are the ones who are asleep already. If you're not awake, you can be hypnotized. If you're driving from point A to point B and you can't remember every little thing that happened between those areas, you were hypnotized. You were singing a song, you were remembering some kind of a movie or something that happened, or you're thinking about the future, what you're going to buy or whatever, and then boom, you get to the other side. You were hypnotized. When you sit in a theater and you're sitting there going, oh my God, with this and that and this and that. Well, you know, if the film breaks and you look around and go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm in a theater. That is what the hypnosis is about. See what you are hypnotizing yourself about. Now let's take a look at Capricorn. Now at this time, it's about Capricorn. Oh, when it was in Sagittarius, when Pluto was in Sagittarius, people were wondering and questioning about religion. What do you believe in? And if you're going to be obsessed about religion and that this has to be this way, or this is the only way because this is so important to me, then we can also put the lid on all other religions and other belief systems. But if we question religion, that's why I thought this book that came out called God is Not Good, that was brilliant, because it's questioning, what is God? Do we just believe it because we're afraid that if we don't, see, fear, right? Are you just living by fear? That's another nail to our coffin. Or do we live by knowledge and live by understanding? And then that kind of knowledge and acceptance of all religions can cause a liberation for all of us to share in the power of that kind of knowledge, that connection to God or spirit or whatever. And that can cause also changes in the whole world. So it's something to really kind of think about. What do you believe in and how attached are you to it? And Pluto will come around and say, well, okay, either you're going to be so attached that you're going to kill yourself with it, or you can be detached, and that will also shift and change and put a death to that which has held you hostage. So what is then Pluto doing to Capricorn? Capricorn energy is about getting things going in practical matters. So cardinal, practical, earth. So getting things going. Now the spirit loves freedom. Now, the spirit is all 12 signs. But we do, for those with sun, moon, or rising in Capricorn, they are really hard working. And the spirit can come in the form of just having fun or just going out for an exploration or just a what the heck and just space out. But Capricorn says, no, we don't want to do that. We got to get something done because we got to get down to earth, pay the bills, and create some kind of a long-lasting legacy, something I can pass down to my kids and something that I can, give away or, whatever. It's do something with it. And so they don't always have a lot of fun. They will hang in there, tie themselves into something that is not necessarily always of the highest spiritual freedom that they of course would love to let go and just have that kind of fun. But Capricorn, strictly as Capricorn, is going to say, okay, nose to the grindstone, get the job done. It may not be fun, but we're going to do it because we got to get it done. We got to establish ourselves and create that kind of security. Now, in the relationship to death, there is no security. No matter what we save up, no matter how much money we have, no matter what, in the end, we can't take it with us. It's not spiritually possible for us to take the material world with us, but we can take our spiritual development with us, and the discipline, that responsibility, this thing of Saturn, which belongs with Capricorn. It's saying, I know I'm a spirit, and I know that as a spirit that I'm free. I can do anything, but for the sake of knowing discipline, to be an authority on something, I know I've gotta do this right and do it now. And so spirit being in physical form is not easy. It takes a lot more work than just spacing out and just thinking positive thoughts. This is about get that job done, be responsible. What is your integrity? Even if your integrity is in the mafia, that's okay, because there's this feeling of like, well, at least, I'm living according to a certain kind of a standard that I limit myself to be able to live this way. Now we notice that it's not in style to do mafia things so much anymore, that now there is an evolution that is saying, hey, let's see how we can also live in this restricted reality, this very limited reality, this one where, sure, I would love to just go backpacking every day, but then what happens when I get old? And that's the reason why Capricorn is so involved with old age or old people. They love senior citizens. They totally respect people that have had some life experience because they know those people got here through hard knocks, and I will learn about those hard knocks, and I will do whatever it takes for those hard knocks, because in spirit form, in pure spirit form, this is just a dream. But in this world, hey, you get punched in the nose, it hurts. In spirit, it's just a concept. And so it's a totally different kind of reality that Capricorn comes in with. And what Pluto goes and says is, are you putting your life into something, making money, big business, the establishment? Is that really the highest level of spirituality that you can do? So this can be the revealing, the unveiling, the ripping apart, the exposing of that which is restrictive, controlling, big business, people with money that have been using that money to make more money for the sake of just being materially well off. Is that really what our spirit is really all about? Those are the questions, because when people at Capricorn are willing to ground their spirituality into something that says, you know, what's real is my relationship to that which is good. Now we have taken this, the physical life in full circle. We are now saying, I will be a responsible spiritual person that is willing to go deep into that which has been hidden, so that we can have something that is solid and real in the truest sense of the spiritual world. And Capricorn also has Mars energy. When Mars loves being in Capricorn, because Capricorns work hard. They will work and work and work and work to get to the bottom of things. This is a very powerful, powerful sign, but they're willing to do the hard work that it takes. And, you know, that's why they say when they get older is when they have fun, because they're too busy working hard in their younger years to save up, be accountable. And then now is the time to say, let's take a look at establishment, doing it the right way, and unveil that, tear that up. Let's see if we could change that up into something that is closer to who we really are, the spirit of who we are. And that is why the banking system and the things that are considered to be establishment stuff is now being looked at, is being questioned, is being, hey, what's underneath this? What are the hidden books? What about the hidden monies? All of the things that a lesser version of Capricorn would have protected themselves. Scorpio, Pluto energy comes in there and says, we're going to do some forensic accounting here. So we got to establish a new level of what would be considered what authority is really all about.